when you first learned to ride a bicycle, the first time it was very nervous, very nerve-wracking. The second time you did it, it was a little nervous, but very nervous still. Then less nervous, less nervous. Finally, you're very good. Finally, you're confident as hell, and then you're just amazing at riding a bike. And it's the same shit, like literally, it's the same shit. So yeah, okay. So we have. I'm trying to make this so that you can get really good value out of this, like not just some theoretical shit. So you can't prepare for it. Transfer of emotions and being comfortable. Number 3 is I don't know, just getting more confident. Okay, another thing is I sort of changed scripts up. And honestly, it went from like I'm a local painter in the area to like I just painted your neighbor over there's house, and that definitely helped, I think. However, here's the fourth thing. All right, in my business, all right, it's not the men who really want to purchase the specific product I have. Okay, that's just how my product is. It's the women. Funny enough, I spoke to all men and one woman in about half an hour, 25 minutes. And the one lead I got, yes, I got a lead. Can you believe that? The one lead I got was from the woman. And I think it was because, I said, I painted your neighbor's house. But I think even before I said that, she started telling me what it was. And I got to explain something to you, okay? Like, for me, in my business right now, like what I'm selling, sometimes dealing with the opposite sex is a little bit better because, basically, you know what I'm going to say, there's sexual attraction underneath. I mean, just basically, it's like, if you're a guy and a good-looking girl approaches you and, it's not going to matter what the hell's coming out of her mouth or anything. Instantly right there, you're engaged because it's a woman. And hopefully not an ugly one. Unfortunately, it's just where sex sells thing, and the more attractive you find someone, the more engaged then you are with them. And I think I found that with the women. I think the guys have their they're like anti like door knocker goggles on, like, oh, door knocker, get rid of him. The girl came, she opened, and then she was like, she saw who I was, and she kind of like almost like opened up a little bit. And I think that's important. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it up and kind of probably go not later, but earlier when maybe a lot of guys are working and maybe they're stay-at-home moms. That might help. Also, women not only maybe respond better, but they actually are the ones that want to paint. Guys are always like, oh, I don't want to paint, and this and this and that. And women are like, we have to get this done, Harvey. You have to paint. And he's like, oh, I'm going to do it. It's like, oh, let's hire someone. It's like, you don't have to hire anyone. I'm going to do it. But he never does it. It's just like a macho thing almost. It's like you wouldn't want some like young cool guy coming in and like barbecuing for your family while you sit there. It's like, oh, I guess we have the new like provider. Like it's some macho shit like that. So for me, dealing with women might be a little bit better. Is there anything else I learned? Really, honestly, it's this. What I prepared all year for really didn't prepare me at all. It didn't. All my hours of reading and lectures and tapes and preparing the perfect pitch, honestly, when I got to those doors, I was nervous. And no matter what, you're going to be nervous. And you think that it's going to be awful, but the fact is this. After you do it 10 times and you haven't died 10 times, you realize it's not bad. And the nervousness starts, and it gets less every time you knock on a door. And eventually, it's still there, but it goes away, and it almost comes a bit fun, believe it or not. So, honestly, it just, like this other guy on YouTube talked about analysis for paralysis. You can be paralyzed by analyzing things too much. You just have to go for it. Honestly, I can say that I avoided doing something for over a year because I was so afraid. And I was afraid right up until the point I did it today. And honestly, there's nothing to be afraid of. People didn't, take me into their vampire lair and suck my blood dry and bury me in the basement. Okay? No one got angry. Like, it was cool. And the only reason it wasn't cool at the beginning had nothing to do with them. It was because I was less afraid. I was afraid. And I put those emotions in the connection we both had. It had nothing to do with them. Why is it that you get better as you keep going? Because you get more comfortable and you transfer those emotions into the interaction. So people don't, it's not about the people's reactions. It's about what emotions and energy and confidence you're going in there with. And I promise you, that will not happen by reading 20 books about how to develop confidence. It will be about going, knocking on the doors, and by the 10th one, you'll be more confident. And then you'll get more confident, and you'll get more confident, and you're going to get better. All right? And, I mean, you know, I kind of had the luxury of saying, I did this to this person on your street. But I don't even think that's the reason why I got the lead with the girl. And I said that to a lot of other people, and I didn't get the lead. So it's not like, oh, well, your script is better because you could say that you knew someone that they knew. Half the people didn't even know the neighbor, and the majority of them didn't care. It wasn't enough to get them to paint with me. So, learned a lot. And one more thing. Honestly, if you're going to go out and do it for 20 minutes, that's cool. But I'm telling you right now, it's one of those things. The longer you do it, the more of a roll you get on, the more confident you are, the better you do. So it's almost, I can see now why it's better to go door knocking for 6 hours than it would, or 4 hours than it would to be for like 10 minutes. Because you start to get into the zone and you start to become better. All right. I think that's enough. But honestly, I think the biggest chunk I just got out of this all, you know, and hopefully you get out of it too, is that there's no fear from the other people. It's from yourself. The only reason people might be like sketchy when you come to the door is because you're sketchy, because you're afraid. And they're not going to treat you like shit. And they didn't even treat me like shit, even though I was sketchy. They just said no. But, you know, people are going to start actually warming up to you because you're warming up to them, because you're warming up to door knocking, to the situation. So you're only limited by your own actions, and you just go out there and do it. You get better, and they feel more comfortable. So what's stopping you guys? Okay? I'm telling you right now, you could wait for the perfect moment to go out there. It doesn't exist. The only moment is now, and you know, whatever hurdle you're preparing for, your legs aren't going to get any longer in preparing, and your muscles aren't going to get any stronger. That once you get to that hurdle, it's going to be just as hard as if you waited a year ago or now. So jump into it, guys. Okay, take care.